James Clerk Maxwell, one of the most important physicists of all time. He is known for his contributions to the development of the theory of electromagnetism, and for his celebrated equations that bear his name. The equations of electromagnetism are among the most important discoveries of the 19th century and had an enormous impact on the development of electrical engineering, and later on electronics and communication technology. But Maxwell's contributions to science go far beyond that. This is a story about his life, work, and legacy. James Clerk Maxwell was born on June 13, 1831, in Edinburgh, Scotland. His father, who shared the same name, was a wealthy landowner, and his mother, Catherine, was the daughter of a banker. So James grew up in comfort, with an excellent education at home. In fact, his mother is said to have tutored him until he entered the University of Edinburgh at age 12. At the university, he excelled in mathematics and natural philosophy, the Scottish term for physics, graduating with honours in 1847. Subsequently, he enrolled at the University of Cambridge to further his studies in math and physics. However, during his time in Cambridge, Maxwell became seriously ill and had to return home to recover. After recovering, he continued his studies at Marischal College in Aberdeen. Before returning to Cambridge to complete his degree, he graduated second in the second class. Not quite first class, but still very good. In 1850, he became the chair of natural philosophy at the University of making him the youngest chair of any department at the university at age 19. In 1856, he married the daughter of the head of the classics department, and together they had 2 sons. Unfortunately, she died soon after giving birth to their second son, and Maxwell then married the daughter of a fellow professor at King's College London. They also had 2 sons, one of which died in infancy. Maxwell was now fully established as a respected professor, and it was in 1861 that he presented his famous paper on physical lines of force, in which he introduced the concept of displacement current, completed the theory of electromagnetism, and laid the foundation for the idea of electromagnetic waves. To explain the behavior of magnets and electric currents, Maxwell introduced the concept of lines of force. These were imaginary curves that could be used to visualize the forces around magnets and moving charges. By using these lines of force, he was able to show that changing electric and magnetic fields could cause each other, what we now call Faraday's law of induction. This was a significant departure from the prevailing view at the time that electricity and magnetism were separate phenomena. This paper was highly influential and would later form the basis for Einstein's theory of special relativity. Maxwell also made several other important contributions to the understanding of electromagnetism, such as the introduction of the concept of self-induction, the study of the stability of Saturn's rings, and the discovery of Maxwell's equations. This set of equations is a set of 4 equations that describe how electric and magnetic fields are generated by charges and currents, and how they change over time. Maxwell's equations are considered to be one of the most important scientific discoveries of the 19th century, and had an enormous impact on the development of electrical engineering, and later on electronics and communication technology. For example, they predict the existence of electromagnetic waves, which are disturbances that travel through space carrying energy with them. Electromagnetic waves were first observed by Heinrich Hertz in 1887, and they form the basis for many modern technologies such as radio, television, and mobile phones. Maxwell's equations also helped scientists to understand the behavior of electric circuits and devices such as transformers and capacitors. This led to the development of new technologies such as AC motors and generators, which revolutionized the way we use electricity. The crowning achievement of Maxwell's work was the prediction of radio. In his paper, A Dynamical Theory of the Electromagnetic Field, published in 1865, He showed that electromagnetic waves could travel through space at the speed of light, and that they could be used to transmit information wirelessly. This was a groundbreaking discovery that laid the foundation for the development of radio technology. Unfortunately, Maxwell never lived to see this prediction confirmed. He died on November 5, 1879, at the age of 48, due to complications from abdominal cancer. Despite his relatively short life, Maxwell's contributions to science were monumental, and he is considered one of the most important physicists of all time. There is a story about Maxwell that illustrates his brilliance and the importance of his work. It is said that he was once asked to give a lecture on the second law of thermodynamics, but he replied that he could not do so without having previously given a lecture on the first law. Similarly, he is also credited with saying that science progresses one funeral at a time, meaning that progress in science is often only realized after the death of a scientist. This is certainly true in Maxwell's case, as it took some time for his work to be fully appreciated. However, his legacy lives on today in the numerous technologies that we rely on every day. You see, Maxwell's equations predicted the existence of electromagnetic waves, which include radio waves, microwaves, X-rays, and gamma rays. These waves can be used to transmit information, heat objects, and even kill cancer cells. Maxwell's work also helped to develop the first computers and the first nuclear weapons. His contributions to science are truly immeasurable. In addition to his scientific contributions, Maxwell was also a gifted teacher and mentor. He was the first Cavendish Professor of Physics at Cambridge, a position he held from 1860 until his death. As Cavendish Professor, he played a key role in shaping the future of physics in Britain. He was responsible for the construction of the Cavendish Laboratory, which is still the main physics teaching laboratory at Cambridge today. He was also instrumental in the development of the Indian Civil Service, and was the first chairman of the University of Cambridge Local Examinations Syndicate, which was responsible for setting the first public examinations in India. One of Maxwell's most famous students was J.J. Thomson, who discovered the electron in 1897. Thomson later became the master of Trinity Hall, Cambridge, and is considered one of the founding fathers of modern physics. Another one of Maxwell's students was George Green, who made significant contributions to the mathematical theory of electricity and magnetism. Green's work is best known for his formulation of Green's theorem, which is a fundamental result in vector calculus. Green was born in 1823 in the village of Churchlawford in Warwickshire, England. He was the son of a miller, and from an early age he showed an aptitude for mathematics. Despite the humble beginnings, Green was able to attend the University of Cambridge, where he studied mathematics. He graduated with honours and was elected a Fellow of Trinity Hall, Cambridge. Green's work on electricity and magnetism was highly influential and helped to lay the foundations for the development of electrical engineering. He died in 1886 at the age of 63. Together with the work of Faraday, Ampere, Gauss, and later that of Tesla, Hertz, and Marconi, Maxwell's contributions formed the basis for what we now call classical electromagnetism. His most famous equations are now simply referred to as Maxwell's equations, and are one of the cornerstones of modern physics. They have been superseded by Einstein's theories of special and general relativity, which are more comprehensive and accurate. However, they remain the most widely used equations for describing the behavior of electromagnetic fields in most everyday situations. After Maxwell, the development of classical electromagnetism continued with important contributions from several scientists, including Oliver Hale, who simplified Maxwell's equations and made them more suitable for use in engineering applications. Also, Hendrik Lorentz, who developed the Lorentz transformation, which is a mathematical description of how space and time coordinates transform between different inertial frames of reference, and Albert Abraham Michelson, who made precise measurements of the speed of light and investigated the possibility of a luminiferous ether. However, none of these scientists had the same kind of impact on the field as Maxwell did. Maxwell's contributions to science were recognized during his lifetime with several prestigious awards and honors. He was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society in 1862 and served as its president. From 1871 to 1874, he was knighted in 1874 and created a baronet. He received honorary degrees from several universities, including Cambridge, Oxford, and Edinburgh. In addition to his scientific and academic achievements, Maxwell was also a devout Christian and a man of deep religious faith. He saw his work as part of a divine plan to unlock the mysteries of the natural world, and he believed that science and religion were not mutually exclusive. This is evident in his writings, such as his essay, The Scientific Layman, in which he argues that science and religion are complementary, and that both are necessary for a complete understanding of the world. James Clerk Maxwell was indeed a man of many talents and interests. He was a brilliant scientist, a gifted teacher, a devout Christian, and a man of deep religious faith. His contributions to science are immeasurable, and his legacy lives on today in the numerous technologies that we rely on every day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.